Welcome back, guys. We're still in Preferences today, but now we're moving from the System tab into the User tab. The best way to think of this section is that it's how DaVinci Resolve behaves for you on your computer. The first section here is UI settings. At the top, there is a drop-down that lets you choose what language you want the Resolve interface to use. Most of the time, you can leave this on auto unless you want Resolve in another language. Now we have some checkboxes. Let's go over them one by one. The first one is reload last working project on startup. This automatically opens up the last project you worked on when Resolve launches. I normally leave this unchecked and I manually open my projects just in case there were any problems with the last project that was open. Then we have use optimized UI layouts for vertical video. This switches Resolve into layouts tailored for vertical aspect ratios. Think Shorts, Reels, and TikTok. If you don't like the different layout, leave it off and just work in the standard UI. The next checkbox is Show Focus Indicators in the user interface. This adds a small red indicator to whatever panel currently has focus, which is really handy when you're learning the interface. But once you're comfortable, you can keep this off. Next is Use Gray Background for user interface. This one is purely preference. It changes Resolve's general UI from the usual blue-gray to a neutral gray. Moving along, we have Use Gray Background in Viewers, which makes subtle sizing or contrast judgments easier than viewing against a black background. After that is Resize Image in Viewer to square pixels. This ensures the viewer shows standard definition or any other non-square footage correctly. Next is Delay Viewer Display by a certain amount of frames. This is only for broadcast monitor sync. If you're not syncing to a delayed external monitor, you can safely leave this off. Then we have Output Single Field when paused. This is intended for interlaced footage. It can reduce flicker when paused on interlaced material or some computer displays. If you don't work with interlaced media, you can leave this off. Next is Stop Playback when a drop frame is detected. If enabled, Resolve will halt playback when an output frame is dropped. This can be useful for diagnosing performance issues, but it can also be disruptive while editing. After that is Stop Renders when a frame or clip cannot be processed. I highly recommend leaving this one checked. Resolve will stop the render if there's an error instead of silently producing a broken export. Then we have Show Playhead Shadow. This turns on an orange shadow region before and after the playhead, which helps with quick visual measuring. Next is 2D timeline scrolling. When this is checked, the mouse wheel scrolls vertically through the tracks. When it's unchecked, the mouse wheel scrolls the timeline horizontally. And finally, we have Timeline Sort Order. This controls how timeline names are listed in the viewer menus, such as alphabetical, creation date, or recently used. Our next section is called Project Save and Load. The first checkbox here is Load All Timelines when opening projects. This is off by default, and the reason is simple. If you turn this on, Resolve loads every timeline up front, which can definitely slow down opening bigger projects. Next is Live Save, and this one is crucial. Live Save continuously writes your changes to the database. So on the Cut, Edit, and Fairlight pages, your edits save as you make them. And on the Color and Fusion pages, Resolve saves when you switch clips. But it will also save periodically in the background to protect your work, even if you haven't switched clips. After that, we have Project Backups. This creates full project files at set intervals, and they are independent of Live Save. To retrieve your projects, go to the Project Manager, right-click on a blank area, and choose Other Project Backups. When restoring a backup, Resolve opens it as a new project and doesn't overwrite the original. Next is Timeline Backups. These are separate, smaller backups of individual timelines at intervals. To restore one, right-click on the timeline in the media pool, select Restore Timeline Backup, and Resolve restores it as a new timeline with backup appended to the name, so your current timeline is not overwritten. Below Timeline Backups, you'll see some additional options. This is where you can adjust how often backups happen by minutes, hours, and by days. And lastly, you have the option to choose your backup location. Our last section in the video is cache management. This section only has one option: delete cache files older than a certain amount of days. When this is enabled, Resolve will automatically remove render cache files that are older than the number of days you set here. In the next video, we'll still be in the User tab, but we're moving forward into the Editing, Color, and Fairlight sections. Thanks for watching, and as always, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop your questions in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one, guys.